Could you just shed some light on how you got to this point where you started to be able to care for yourself better than you were in the past?
I think like after my dad died, I didn't really have time to grieve. It was very traumatic for me because I had no clue like the day that he passed away that he was going to pass away, you know. He was in the hospital and he was suffering, and like I had never felt so this dreary and like dark. And after it happened, like days after, I just felt very like numb. I didn't really talk to anybody. I kind of shut myself out. I barely cried. I think I only cried that day. And then I stopped crying for weeks until I went to my school because I was having trouble in a class because I wasn't sleeping and I wasn't doing well. And I talked to one of the deans, and she was like, "Are you sure you're okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." Because I mean, I said that my father passed away very nonchalantly, and she looked at me, gave me a look. She's like, "No, you're not." So she took me to our counseling, health, and wellness office, and I talked to one of the older counselors. And as soon as I sat down, I started crying. Like I think I cried for about an hour, and I talked about how I feel traumatized and I feel alone and I feel scared and I feel like life isn't worth living anymore. And I just felt so overwhelmed, and I felt like I was putting too much pressure on myself to sort of just get over it, because everyone's like, "Oh, you're strong, you'll get through it." I come from a very religious family, so they're like, "Oh, you just pray about it," and it's like that's not helping me you know so I think after that session that I had with that counselor, I was like, I need to do this more. I need to talk to somebody more. And it felt great to just have someone sit down and listen to my problems and make me feel like my feelings were validated and I wasn't crazy or I wasn't being too soft. And after that, I used up all free 10 sessions that my school offered, and I went and talked to this counselor about my issues. I talked about feeling inadequate, feeling not good enough, feeling not smart enough, not attractive enough. I talked about, the issues that I was having in my romantic relationships and stuff. And it helped me so much because I felt like I wasn't alone, and I was able to release everything that I felt in me, to somebody else, and have someone say, "Okay, I understand exactly how you feel, and how you feel does not make you crazy. It makes you human."